Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today on This Needs to Be Read. I'm your host, Catherine Jones, and today is a sweet mix or a savory mix or a dry mix, if you will. Today we're going to talk with the author of the third edition of the Wine Bible. Welcome to This Needs to Be Read, Karen MacNeil. How are you?
I'm great, Catherine. Thanks for having me on.
First question. Two things. I enjoy wine, but I don't know how to avoid getting a headache.
Well, it's a very easy answer because while the exact mechanism of why certain people get headaches is not known, one of the answers is, and that's hydration. You know, sommeliers and people like myself who are in the wine business have a kind of unwritten rule that for every glass of wine, we drink a glass of water. And so doctors say and scientists say that the reason many people get headaches is because they're drinking wine or other forms of alcohol without drinking enough water at the same time.
Oh, my goodness. Busted right out in front, because when you get a good glass of wine, you just don't want to fill your belly with anything other than that wine. So I know that was a very elementary question, but you have been updating this wine Bible. This is the third edition. So what's new in this book than your first two editions?
There's so many new chapters because the world of wine is getting so much larger, and even the classic wine producing countries are making new styles of wine, and of course different wines every year. So there are entirely new chapters on places like England, expanded chapters on China, Japan, South Africa, and then even the classic regions like France, Italy, and Spain. New things and the United States. New things are happening. So not only are there new chapters, but, one of the parts, Catherine, that I'm most pleased with is at the end there is a wine word dictionary with all the words in wine that you're likely to come across, not just in English, but also in French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Hungarian, and Greek, and a great glossary of the 400 grapes you might come across, say, if you finally got to take that trip to Italy.
Wow. So this being a wine Bible, my husband saw it and he thought I was talking about the Bible because, of course, it's so thick and full of information, but he just saw the thickness and saw Bible on the front of it. And he thought I had gone out and gotten a new Bible. And I said, actually, no, it's for an interview that I'm getting ready to do. And I am not wine smart. My friends tease me because some of them, in my opinion, I tell them they're wine snobs because they tell me about organic wines and how not to buy wine at the convenience, at the corner store, and box wine. I mean, it's different things that we say among ourselves. But now I have this collective of, I didn't even know there was 400 grapes, and I think I love grapes. I'm not even sure anymore. But this information here, did you make it for people like me? Come on.
Yeah. Let me ask you, do you like food? I bet you love food, right?
Yes.
And so one of the things I always say is that if you love food, you love flavor. And wine is just liquid flavor. Food is solid flavor, wine is liquid flavor. And I've asked sensory scientists about this because you hear sometimes food people say, oh, I'm a foodie, or I'm a food person. I don't know anything about wine. And when you ask sensory scientists, is that actually possible? Sensory scientists will tell you that the brain doesn't work that way. If you're good at flavor, you're good at flavor. It doesn't matter if it's solid or liquid in your mouth. So you might be saying to yourself you're not good about wine, but I bet secretly you probably are.
Well, I have your book to guide me. So as far as, because it sounds like I'm a beginner, I really feel like I am. I'm up to maybe 2 grapes. And you said there's 400 grapes, but just trying the different kinds. So how do you decide what's your preference? Like, help me, I'm a beginner.
Yeah. I would say for any person who is a beginner who wants to learn about wine, one of the best things you can do is when you go to a wine store, or even if you buy your wine, on the internet, on a wine shop like wine.com, let's say, or vivino.com, one of the best things you can do is choose a country. It could be any country. It doesn't matter what country it is. Let's say it's Spain. And for the next 2 or 3 months, only drink wines from Spain. Go to that part of the store over and over again. At the end of 3 months, you'll realize, wow, you kind of have a feel for the flavors of Spain. And then move on to another place, New Zealand. Again, it doesn't matter where you go or how you do this. But after about a year of doing that, you'll realize, oh, you actually do. You've got a good command of what the flavors of different places are like. And so it's, the key here is not to get overwhelmed by the fact that there are 14 million choices out there. Just start with one place and then progressively move to other places.
This is crazy because I'm going to admit to you that maybe I believe that wine came from California, wine came from Italy and France only. So for there to be so many places and to say I'm going to basically set my taste bud location to Spain and I'm only going to, drink those wines as you suggested, that's not a thought. Everybody gets their wine from those 3 places I just told you about, and so that's how you have wine in those areas. So another myth is that, for me, is that I don't have wines from it just everybody's getting the same wine from the same 3 places. So I didn't even know that there was a wine basically based in different places. I'm just thinking it's all the same. Bless you. I'm just thinking that it's all the same. Yeah. Bless you.
Sneezing here. I suppose it's very understandable that, you hear about French wine, for example, and you think, all right, well, that's probably where many of the world's wines come from. But it turns out, especially in the last 50 years, that wine has become a very important global phenomenon. There are so many countries now that produce wine, and it's really exciting because wine is often a reflection of that place's culture, and certainly, just a wonderful way to experience a country, just as food is. Everybody would say, wow, it's just fantastic when you go to Italy and experience the food there. And that's true of wine, too. It's revealing of that place's culture.
Well, I am so happy to have this overwhelming book of knowledge for me as a beginner. I'm looking at it while I'm talking to you. I've looked at it before our interview, and I have so much to learn, so much to explore. And so I am excited about this, and I think that this is going to move me up the wine list with my friends. So I may, too, become a wine snob so I could teach them a thing or two. But it's always funny when we talk about wines, and if you heard us, you being an expert, you would laugh at us for real because, we have our preference of bottle, glass, or plastic, box, and you're telling me basically those aren't even the things to be thinking about. It's what experience am I trying to have? And an experience in my mouth, yes. So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd edition of your wine Bible, which means it's been updated. This is the most current, newest information. Where would you like for people to pick up a copy of this? And Karen, thank you so much for stopping by. This needs to be read.
Absolutely. The Wine Bible 3rd edition, just out a few weeks ago, is available anywhere books are sold, but it's also available on my website, www.karenmacneil.com. And there, if you want to make it a gift, you can order a Wine Bible and tell me to whom you would like it inscribed. And so I will personalize the Wine Bible as a gift for a friend of yours that loves wine. So www.karenmacneil.com, or you can always buy the Wine Bible any place where books are sold.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I think I got a few gift people in mind for this. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for tuning in to This Needs to Be Said. I hope you've gained something from what has been shared. Send me your comments and show ideas through the website at tntbsmedia.com. I'd love to hear from you.